Hey there, fellow UOAPs. I'm coming to you. It is about 10:30 in the morning here in Mooresville, North Carolina. For North Carolinian standards, it's actually pretty hot and humid out here. This little 2-mile run that I just did was actually fairly difficult, a little more than I thought it would be. So you're probably wondering right now, what in the world does this have to do with Universal Orlando? Well, I wouldn't blame you for thinking that, but I'm going to tell you. First, I'm going to tell you what I'm planning to do, why I'm making this video. And then I'm going to tell you why I'm making this video. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Because that's really the part that matters. So this little run that I just did this morning represents the beginning of my journey. I set a goal to complete 556 miles of running, combination of trails and roads. 556 miles seems kind of like an odd number, right? Well, it represents the exact miles between the front porch of my apartment, where I'm currently living, and where I want to be living, which is pretty close to the front gates of Universal Orlando Resort. Well, I took that exact amount of miles on GPS, and I plan on running them. This is going to be 9 miles a week, so I'll be running 3 times a week, 2, 3, and 4 in that order, every single week. And as long as I can continue doing that, have that consistent pace, I'll be able to do all 556 of those miles by the time I'm planning on moving, about halfway through September. And I'll be ending with a fairly long run. I haven't really decided what that's going to be yet. It's all going to depend on my run and my skill level by then. But we're going to end it with a run around Universal Orlando. This is going to be super, super cool, I think. It's very, very motivational to me, and I'm hoping it might mean something to some of you out there that have some goals. And that's what we're going to get into now. So we know what I'm doing. We know how I'm doing it. Why am I doing it? Well, take you on a little time travel back to 2012. I was fresh out of high school, didn't really have any goals, didn't have any ambitions. The biggest calling I had in life at the time was taking over my parents' business, which was a transportation trucking company. I didn't really have any interest in that. So I didn't really do very well in school, in college. Graduated with flying colors through high school, and then just totally fell off the map. My friends noticed I was kind of depressed. And don't get me wrong, I was establishing a respectable portfolio in food and beverage and things like that, and I was doing well, for sure. But I just didn't have any goals. And I wasn't applying any of my natural abilities, any of the things that I really enjoy to do, which are pretty much all centered around creativity, creative concepts, things like that. So I've always been somebody who likes to build things, draw things, paint things, whatever it is. If it comes from my head and I can create it in real life, that's my passion. Down to things most people would find completely boring. I love it. It's what I do. So I've always had a love for theme parks. Would visit my local theme park, which I'm going to not name on this video here, just about every weekend. Absolutely loved it. Well, one time I decided, you know what, I'm going to go down to Universal. I've been seeing all these commercials about it and stuff, and I think, I'd been there one time as a child, so I wanted to go back and re-experience it. So I did, brought a couple friends of mine down. Just about a day into that vacation, I knew that was where I wanted to be. It wasn't even a question in my mind. When I saw the creativity, when I saw the passion, when I saw the love that was evident in the creation of all those attractions, how driven and motivated the team members were to deliver the experience that they do every single day, which if any of you are watching, by the way, kudos to you. Y'all are just amazing. I knew this is where I need to be, and this is what I want to do. Well, I now know my career path is working toward becoming a member of Universal Creative. Made a lot of contacts in there over the last few years, but I had a lot of things to work on myself up here. Whether it be discipline, financial responsibility, goal setting, just things like that, things I wasn't used to doing because I had no direction before. Well, now that I did, I had to make a choice. Am I going to become the person that I need to be to get down there and to be successful in that industry? Or am I going to want it for the rest of my life and stay up here in North Carolina? Well, it was pretty obvious which choice I made. So over the last few years, I have been just working my tail off every day, every single day, bettering myself in all the areas that I thought I needed some work on so that I could go down there with confidence, knowing that I'm ready to pursue my dreams. And by the way, a lot of this, I must tell you, came from the advice of a team member who was working in a restaurant. I was down there one year, and I had just realized that I didn't go down one of the goals that I set for myself and when I was going to go. I didn't go. So I was kind of depressed, honestly, even though I was down in my favorite place that I loved. Why can't I just seem to, well, frankly, get my act together? And he told me, after kind of hearing my story, well, you know what? The best thing you can possibly do is just run every morning. It'll get your mind right. Trust me. He said about 20 years ago, when he was close to my age, he made the same commitment, and it allowed him to gain the clarity and the focus he needed to achieve his goal of moving down there. So that's what I did. And I'm pretty happy to say that running has by far been the most influential part of my life. It keeps me motivated every day in my studies, in my financial obligations, whether it be saving, paying off bills, just the basic things of life that I really just wanted to make sure I had together before I even tried to move down there and tackle that dream. So that's what this whole thing is about, right? Running has been the most motivational, inspirational part of my life. I'm hoping that I can kind of share that with you. So if you have any goals of your own, maybe they have something to do with Universal, maybe they don't. We can all kind of come together on this journey as I can complete these 556 miles, and I can be accountable to you, the Universal Orlando annual pass holders, the team members, anybody who frequents this page, because really at the end of the day, y'all are my family, y'all are my peers. You are who I'm going to be hanging out with. You're going to be, some of you, we haven't even met yet, you're probably going to be my best friends when I move down there. So who better to be accountable to than all of you, right? That's my thought. So we're going to call this the RUN2UO 704 to 407, which is my area code to your area code. We're going to do this together every day. Well, actually, I shouldn't say every day. The schedule is going to be every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Saturday. I'll be posting some kind of a short video, much shorter than this, by the way. Maybe some kind of a creative thought on any of the new attractions. Just basically some kind of stimulating conversation. Some of it may be inspirational if I think of a quote or something at the time. But the point is, we're all in this together. We're going to do this. And it's going to happen. And I can't wait till I can get down there to do that big long run at the end of this 556 and be able to tell you guys that I finally made it. I live down there and I'm working toward my dreams. Anyway, this whole thing has been kind of a ramble. I appreciate you sticking with me this long if you have. We're going to make this happen. Bye for now.